Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear student. Welcome to your channel The Anatomy Canvas. In today's class of slide preparation for the block of that is endocrine and reproductive system part 2. We will do the male genital system and then we will do the endocrine system. So here is the first slide, that is the testes at lower magnification, 4x magnification, in which you can see the large number of the seminiferous tubules which are present. This is the slide of testes at lower magnification, and this is the same slide at higher magnification, in which you can see the large number of the seminiferous tubules which are lined by the basically two type of the cells. One are the spermatogenic cells in different stage of development, and other are the supporting cells are the Sertoli cell. The surrounding connective tissue which is present also called the tunica propria, which contain the interstitial cells of the Leydig. So the same slide at higher magnification, in which you can see large number of the spermatogonial cells which are present over here, and in between these spermatogonial cells you can see this one, the one with the pale staining cells and light staining nuclei. This is the nuclei of the Sertoli cell. Then these are the nuclei of the spermatocytic cells in different stages, and here you can see the bunch of the spermatozoa which is present in the lumen. This area is the interstitial connective tissue, and in interstitial connective tissue you can see large number of the Leydig cells which are present over here, and in addition to these Leydig cells you can also see the smooth muscle like cells which are present over here. These are the myoid cell. Here you can also appreciate the myoid cells which are present. So in this slide of the testes you can see different types of the cells, the spermatogenic cells in different stages of development, then the Sertoli cells which are present at their nuclei is present at the bases, and these are the light staining cells. Then the interstitial spaces also called the tunica propria, where you can see the large number of the interstitial cells of Leydig, also the myoid cells which are present over here. So this is another slide with the messenger trichrome stain of the testes at 4x magnification, and in this slide you can see large number of the seminiferous tubules which are present. This is the H&E stain section of the testes at higher magnification, and in this diagram you can also see large number of the seminiferous tubules which are present. In the lumen of the seminiferous tubules you can see bunch of spermatozoa, and here you can see the connective tissue that is called the tunica propria, which contain the Leydig cells as well as the myoid cells. Same slide at higher magnification to show you the epithelium of the seminiferous tubules. You can also appreciate the irregular luminal profile because of the large number of the spermatozoa which are still embedded in recesses of the Sertoli cells, and here you can see the tunica propria which contains the Leydig cells as well as the myoid cells. So dear students, this is another slide and a beautiful slide of the testes. Here you can see this is the area where you can see large number of the seminiferous tubules are present. Here you can also appreciate the seminiferous tubules, and this area of the testes show the mediastinum testes, where you can see the interconnecting anastomosing channels of the rete testes which are present over here. So this slide is basically labeled in the lab as rete testes, but you can write it as testes as well as the rete testes because both the tissues are present in this slide. So these anastomosing channels of the rete testes which are lined by the simple cuboidal epithelium, and these are present in the mediastinum of the testes, and these are the seminiferous tubules which are present over here. Another slide of the rete testes, and here you can see the anastomosing channel of the rete testes, although it is not very clear, but the same another slide for the rete testes. So this is again at higher magnification of the rete testes. You can see the anastomosing channels of the rete testes, and in addition to this you can also see the section of the seminiferous tubules which are present. So these rete testes are lined by the simple cuboidal epithelium surrounded by the connective tissue. So this is at the higher magnification, the rete testes. So another slide of the testes, at lower magnification you can see large number of the seminiferous tubule. This is H&E stain section, and also you can see bunch of spermatozoa which are present in the lumen, and luminal profile is not very clear. Same slide at higher magnification, very beautiful slide. You can see the seminiferous tubules which is present, and in this seminiferous tubules you can see large number of the spermatogonial cells are present, and in between these spermatogonial cells here you can see a pale staining cell present, which is the nucleus of the Sertoli cell. These are all the spermatocytes which are in different stages of developments, and here you can see the bunch of the spermatozoa which are embedded in the recesses of the Sertoli cells, and there, even though cytokinesis is incomplete, so they are attached to each other. Here you can see the tunica propria, in which the lytic cells present as well as the myoid cells. Another beautiful slide of the epididymis. The very important identification point for epididymis is a very clear inner profile of the epithelium. You can see a very clear, although bunch of spermatozoa are also present over here in these slides, in all of these ducts you can appreciate, but a very clear profile will help you to differentiate the slide of the epididymis from that of the testes. Also you can see the epithelium is the pseudo-stratified columnar with the stereocilia. So this is the slide of epididymis at higher magnification, and you can appreciate a clear profile, as well as in the lumen you can see large number of spermatozoa which are stored in epididymis. Another beautiful slide with the Mason's trichrome stain, in which you can see pseudo-stratified epithelium with a clear luminal profile, bunch of spermatozoa, and also the smooth muscle cells which are present, which surrounds these ducts are present over here. So this is a beautiful slide of the epididymis as at the 10x magnification. Another slide with H&E stain section at lower magnification of the epididymis. So another slide at lower magnification of the epididymis. Again you can see clear luminal profile which helps you to identify and differentiate it from that of the testes. At higher magnification, the same slide. Another slide with H&E stain section at higher magnification. You can appreciate the pseudo-stratified epithelium, the clear luminal profile, the bunch of the spermatozoa which are present, interstitial tissue which contain large number of the smooth muscle cells. So this is a slide of the ductus deferens. Another slide, as I have told you in the classes as well, that one of those slides you can see the complete lumen under the microscope. So this is one of the slide, the ductus deferens, which is lined by the pseudo-stratified columnar ciliated epithelium. Then another important identification is the thick muscle coat of this epithelium. So the three very well differentiated layer, the inner longitudinal, middle circular, and outer longitudinal layer. And outer to this longitudinal layer, here you can also appreciate the serosa as well. So very important identification point for this slide. Our first point is the complete lumen, which you can see over here. And second identification point for the slide is the thick muscular coat, and thick muscle coat, which help you to identify the slide of the ductus deferens. So another slide of the ductus deferens, you can see complete lumen, and this is slide at lower magnification also. with H&E stain section and a very beautiful slide and easy to identify. So remember, this slide is present in the lab with the name of the spermatic cord. So we have taken the section through this area. Here you can see the lumen of the ductus deferens, and then the thick muscle coat of the ductus deferens surrounded by a loose connective tissue, that is the serosa. So this all area are the components of the spermatic cord which are present over here. Same slide of the ductus deferens at higher magnification to show you the epithelium, that is pseudostratified, the complete lumen, then the three muscle coat, the inner longitudinal, middle circular and outer longitudinal, and then the serosa. Another slide with H&E stain section to show you the ductus deferens is complete lumen, and then thick muscular coat, and then the serosa. Same slide taken through the muscular section, muscularis of the ductus deferens. Here you can see the circularly arranged muscles and the long cross section of the longitudinally arranged smooth muscle cells which are present. So this is the slide of the ductus deferens taken through the muscular layer of the ductus deferens. This is the slide of the seminal vesicle, and the seminal vesicle, as you know, is the accessory sex glands which pour its secretion to the semen, and so this is the lumen of the seminal vesicle, and its lumen is highly folded upon itself, forming the primary, secondary and the tertiary fold lined by the simple columnar epithelium. And these all are actually the same lumen, but in the slide you can see multiple sections of the lumen because of the highly folding and branching of the epithelium and mucosa. So you can see multiple parts of the lumen, although the same lumen is present, and outer to this is the muscular coat. So this is the slide of the seminal vesicle at higher magnification to show you the primary, secondary and tertiary folds of the mucosa and the epithelium, which is simple columnar over here. Another slide of the seminal vesicle to show you the folding of the mucosa. And then now we move on to the slide of the prostate gland, and as you know, the prostate is again the accessory sex gland, and here you can see the glandular element of the prostate, which is lined by the simple columnar epithelium. Also remember, epithelium of the glands of the prostate is generally simple columnar, but even you can see the patches of the simple cuboidal, sometimes simple squamous epithelium as well. So generally this is lined by the simple columnar epithelium. One identification point for the prostate gland is the secretory products which are present in the lumen. These are called prostatic concretion, also called the corpora amylacea, which is present in the lumen of the prostate gland and which accumulates with the age, especially present in older ages. And second identification point for this slide is fibromuscular stroma. So I will show you in the next slide that this stroma also contain large number of the smooth muscles that is highly fibromuscular in nature. So these two identification points help you to identify the prostate. This is the slide of the prostate with H&E stain section at lower magnification. Again, H&E stain section of the prostate at a little bit higher magnification. You can see the glandular element with the prostatic concretions in the lumen and also the fibromuscular stroma present over here. Again, another slide of the gland through the glandular section and the fibromuscular stroma. Another slide of the prostate. In this you can see the glandular tissue with the prostatic concretions and the fibromuscular stroma. So this is a very beautiful slide to show you the fibromuscular stroma. You can see large number of the smooth muscles are present in the stroma of the prostate glands. Also you can appreciate prostatic concretions which are present. The epithelium you can also see in this diagram. This is simple columnar in nature. Another slide, a beautiful slide of the prostate with H&E stain sections to show you the glandular element with the prostatic concretion. Here you can see prostatic concretion, and this all is the fibromuscular stroma. Another same slide in different view, different field. You can see the large number of the glandular tissue with the prostatic concretion and the fibromuscular stroma which is present. So this is a very beautiful slide. This may be the slide of your OSPE as well. The same slide as taken through the fibromuscular stroma. The repeat slide. So another slide for H&E stain with the H&E stain section of the prostate. You can see the glandular element containing large number of the prostatic concretions and the fibromuscular stroma. This is another beautiful slide with a Mason's trichrome stain. Here you can see the glandular section surrounded by the fibromuscular stroma. So same slide at higher magnification to show you this is the epithelium, which is simple columnar in nature. This is the lumen of the gland which contain the prostatic concretion. Here you can also see the prostatic concretion, and this blue color is actually the connective tissue with the stains blue with the Mason's trichrome stain. So this is the fibromuscular stroma. This is the slide of the adrenal gland. Now we move on to the endocrine system, and this is slide of adrenal gland. Here you can see the outer, this is the cortex, and this area is the medulla, in which you can see large medullary vein is also present. So this area is the zona glomerulosa, then the zona fasciculata, then the zona reticularis, and here you can see the medulla of the adrenal gland. So the section taken through the cortex, outer is the capsule of the suprarenal or adrenal gland. Then the next area is this is the zona glomerulosa, in which you can see ovoid or curved masses of the cells of the zona glomerulosa. Then in this area you can see cords or columns of the cells of the zona fasciculata, which are arranged in the form of the vesicles. These may be 1 cell thick or 2 cell thick, and in between these columns you can also see the blood vessels which are present, and here you can see the zona reticularis. So this is a slide of the adrenal gland. Here you can see this outer area is the cortex and this inner is the medulla. This cortex is covered by the connective tissue. Then this area is the zona glomerulosa, then zona reticularis, and then zona fasciculata, then zona reticularis, and this is the medulla. And here you can see a medullary vein is also present. This is the slide taken at lower magnification. Same slide at higher magnification. You can see outer connective tissue capsule, then the zona glomerulosa. This all is a zona fasciculata. Then these are the zona reticularis, and next will be the adrenal medulla. Another slide at higher magnification of the cortex. Here you can see the connective tissue which is present, very small amount of the zona glomerulosa, then the fasciculata, and then the reticularis. Another slide, this is a beautiful slide. Here you can see the cortex, capsule, the zona glomerulosa. This all is zona fasciculata. Then this is the zona reticularis, and then this is the medulla. Here you can see the lumen of the medullary vein and this medulla, the cells which are present in the medulla, which are the chromaffin cells. Next is the slide of the pituitary gland. This is the whole panoramic view of the pituitary gland. Here you can see this is the pars nervosa. This area is pars intermedia, and this whole is pars distalis. So this is the slide from your lab. And this is the section of the pars distalis at higher magnification, in which you can see large number of the chromophobes are present, because 50% population is chromophobe, so large number of the chromophobe cells are present. 40% cells are acidophilic, and very few, only 10% population of the basophilic cells are present. So this is the slide of the pituitary gland. This is the slide of the thyroid as well as parathyroid. So you can see this whole area is the thyroid, and in the center you can see this is the area of the parathyroid. This is the slide taken at 4x magnification. Again the same slide at higher magnification through thyroid follicles. You can appreciate the thyroid follicles lined by the simple cuboidal epithelium, and in the lumen you can see the colloid which is present. Thank you very much, dear student, for your attention. Here I complete my today's class as well as the lecture for the slide preparation of the block F, that is the endocrine system and the reproductive system. And I must say I am really thankful to all of my dear students who were present with me in the lab, who were taking the pictures from the microscope and editing the picture and helping me to prepare this lecture. So thank you all my dear students to help me, and thank you so much for your attention for the today's class. Allah Hafiz.